Okay, so I just wanted to mention something important to consider with microcontroller boards when working with microcontroller boards. For components like these that you'll see on the side on the shelf where you bought the microcontroller board, you don't have to worry. Yeah, sure, you could just plug them in straight in and use them for most cases, but the components that you pulled out of other parts, like, or you've been going through electronic rubbish and you want to work out how everything else works, rah, 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 like this, for example, you need to take into consideration its. Hold on, let me take the cigarette out of my mouth and find somewhere to stick it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you need to take into the consideration of how much current it draws, okay, and whether or not it needs a PCB board to be constructed in itself for that power supply and use of the component. If you just plug something in and it is going to be and it does draw too much current, you're just going to be gradually, very, very slowly over time, fucking your microcontroller board, and so that eventually it'll stop working. It will take a long time, and you might not be realize how quickly that will come, because if the device is operating all the time, because you're used to how long it lasts when you switch it on and off and have something stupid connected. They've designed these educational boards to survive quite a bit, and I know that because a few of them that have survived me for many, many years, and there's no conceivable way that can be a mistake or coincidence. So they have actually considered things like there's protection diodes in the circuitry. Anyway, just something to consider, because these boards are quite pricey. If you do get into it to a reasonable extent. Not so bad anymore, but they were quite pricey for a time being. So yeah, but keep in mind that if you're taking things out of other devices, like from the garbage or whatever, you need to consider how much current it draws and whether it requires constant current.